America has faced multiple threats to our freedoms through the years. Great Britain, Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, Al-Qaeda and ISIS, to name a few. Today we are facing a multitude of threats, but none is as concerning as China. Over the course of this four-part series, we will tackle the massive threats we face from China in 2021. This includes military threats, economic impacts, malign influence operations, and the disgraceful human rights abuses done at the hands of this rogue nation. My name is Vicki Hartzler, Congresswoman representing Missouri's 4th District in the United States House of Representatives. Thanks for being with us as we embark on this journey. Let's get started. The Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, seeks to field a world-class military by the end of 2049. Xi Jinping not only serves as President of the People's Republic of China, but also as the General Secretary of the Communist Party, General Secretary of the Central Committee, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission. The People's Liberation Army, or PLA, the name of China's military, is expanding its operational reach, strengthening its ability to conduct joint operations, and fielding increasingly modern weapons systems. China has already achieved parity with or even exceeded the United States in several military modernization areas, including shipbuilding, land-based conventional ballistic and cruise missiles, and integrated air defense systems. Let's take a closer look at each of these capabilities. China is home to the world's largest navy, with an overall battle force of approximately 350 ships and submarines, including over 130 major surface combatants. In comparison, as of early 2020, the United States Navy's battle force is approximately 293 ships. China has developed its conventional missile forces unrestrained by any international agreements. The nation has compiled more than 1,250 ground-launched ballistic missile and ground-launched cruise missiles with ranges between 310 and 3,400 miles. In comparison, the United States currently fields one type of conventional ground-launched ballistic missile with a range of 26 to 115 miles and no ground-launched cruise missiles. China has one of the world's largest forces of advanced long-range surface-to-air systems, including Russian-built S-400s, S-300s, and domestically produced systems that constitute part of its robust and redundant integrated air defense systems architecture. Here are the PLA's forces compared to forward-stationed U.S. forces in 1999. The red is China and the blue is the United States. When looking at the current representation of China's forces compared to forward-stationed U.S. forces in the Pacific, it is clear to see that in addition to increased military capabilities, China has extended its reach to the second island chain, which includes the Northern Mariana Islands and Guam, both of which are U.S. territories. Now, let's look at what the Pacific is projected to look like in 2025. You will see that China has extended its reach well beyond the second island chain. In addition to having the world's largest navy, China also has the world's largest standing ground force and the largest aviation force in the region and the third largest in the world. The People's Liberation Army Rocket Force is responsible for China's strategic land-based nuclear and conventional missile forces. This force develops and fields a wide variety of conventional mobile ground-launched ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. China is developing new intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. that will significantly improve its nuclear-capable missile forces. The number of warheads on China's land-based ICBMs capable of threatening the United States is expected to grow to roughly 200 in the next 5 years. China's space enterprise continues to mature rapidly. China continues to invest in improving its capabilities in space-based intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, also known as ISR. China is also investing in satellite communication, satellite navigation, and meteorology, as well as human spaceflight and robotic space exploration. In 2019, China launched 34 space-launched vehicles, of which 32 were successful, that placed more than 70 spacecraft into orbit, including navigation, ISR, and text engineering satellites, as well as satellites for foreign customers. China's constellation over 120 ISR satellites, numbering second only to the United States, enhances the PLA's global situational awareness by providing mapping, ground and maritime surveillance, and imagery, and intelligence data. And China plans to have a permanently operating space station by 2022. The South China Sea is one of the world's most heavily trafficked waterways on the planet. An estimated $3.4 trillion in shipborne commerce transits the sea each year, including energy supplies to U.S. treaty allies Japan and Korea. In 2016, 30% of global maritime oil trade passed through the South China Sea. China asserts indisputable sovereignty over the islands in the South China Sea and the adjacent waters. Without defining the scope of its adjacent waters claim, on maps, China depicts its claim with a 9-dash line that, if connected, would enclose an area approximately 62% of the South China Sea, according to the U.S. Department of State. China claims sovereignty over the Spratly and Paracel island groups and other land features within its ambiguous self-proclaimed 9-dash line, claims disputed in whole or part by Brunei, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Between 2013 and 2015, China undertook extensive land reclamation in the South China Sea Spratly Island chain. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, the reclamation created over 3,200 acres, 5 square miles, of artificial land masses on the 7 disputed sites that China controls. China built military infrastructure on the outposts, such as aviation facilities, port facilities, fixed weapons positions, barracks, administration buildings, and communications facilities. Beginning in early 2018, China deployed an advanced anti-ship and anti-aircraft missile systems and military jamming equipment on the islands. China has stated these projects are mainly to improve marine research, safety of navigation, and the living and working condition of personnel stationed on the outpost. However, the outposts provide airfields, barracks, and resupply facilities that allow China to maintain a more flexible and persistent military and paramilitary presence in the area. This improves China's ability to detect and challenge activities by rival claimants or third parties, and it widens the range of response options available to China. So, what has the United States done, and what still needs to be done? Let's take a look. The United States must continue to modernize our military and enhance readiness to ensure a credible deterrent against China and ensure our men and women in uniform are trained and have the resources needed for a peer fight. Congress should not and cannot cut defense spending. Investing in capabilities needed to ensure a credible deterrent posture will ensure our adversaries like China think twice before attacking because they know the United States has the strongest military in the world. The National Defense Authorization, or NDAA, for fiscal year 2021 authorizes $740 billion for national defense, including a number of measures to maintain America's competitive edge against our adversaries, including funding to support anti-submarine warfare to counter advanced undersea threats, funding for additional submarines, funding for fighter and bomber aircraft, and funding for research and development of new aircraft with greater capabilities. The NDAA for fiscal year 2021 establishes a Pacific Deterrence Initiative to strengthen U.S. defense posture in the Indo-Pacific region, addressing issues such as those in the South China Sea. The legislation includes a statement that China's baseless territorial claims, including in the South China Sea, are destabilizing and inconsistent with international law. The fiscal year 2021 appropriations bill supports funding for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, which has a large location in St. Louis, Missouri. This agency is tasked with collecting, analyzing, and distributing geospatial intelligence in support of national security. This includes collecting, analyzing, and distributing information about Chinese military activities in the South China Sea. Additionally, the U.S. Navy and Air Force have stepped up the pace and public profile of their activities in the South China Sea. The Navy conducts freedom of navigation operations in the area, challenging maritime claims. It also seeks to maintain an ongoing presence in the South China Sea to uphold a free and open international order. And the Air Force flies bomber missions over the South China Sea. We still have a long way to go, but tackling the threat of China's military is not an overnight fix. It takes time, effort, money, and diplomacy to hold them in check. As we continue with additional installments of this series, I hope this discussion on the military threats posed by China has been informative. Other videos will discuss China's use of economic manipulation to increase power, China's soft power strategies, and China's human rights abuses. My name is Vicki Hartzler, representing Missouri's 4th Congressional District, and I thank you for watching this video. We'll see you in the second part of our journey.